I thought it was very choppy, and I thought it felt like they got after us up front a little bit.
Coach, it seemed like they had more energy, and they were hooting and hollering every time they would look over there, and they brought a lot of energy. What would be your message to your offense tonight?
My message off is, we got to meet their intensity. Obviously, part of it is, I think, they're playing a different style than they've played in the past, and they're doing a good job of it, and it's different for us. So, you're not game planning necessarily for the practice, so we have to adapt and adjust.
There was one set where DeForest Buckner looked like he was tough on the block. Was he one of the guys?
He's one of probably the 3 or 4 best interior players in this league. So, yeah, he's always going to be tough to block. And if you're not planning around him, he's going to cause problems.
What do you think Coles did, especially going against arm circles?
Tough to tell from here, until I see the film. It's tough to tell. So I just know that, it's a mix of stuff. It's situational football, and they play a completely different style of defense than we play, so it's our job to adapt to the speed and the style of play overnight and come out here and give it a better effort tomorrow.
How was Drew practice this week after he felt he took some strides at the ceiling?
Yeah, I think, it's a process. I mean, it's just not – it's one of those things that's going to be – you just have to be steady and continue to improve your craft, and it just won't happen overnight. I mean, it's going to be incremental things that as you get more comfortable as a player in this league and in this offense and what it takes to be a quarterback, it's just going to take some time. So hard to say.
What's a relatively easy thing that you would expect tomorrow out of your offense against defense?
Yeah, I just hope that the speed of how they play, it's just up front, it's entirely different than they see every day in practice. It's just, and that's how it is week to week in the NFL. When you're playing with 3 groups of offensive lines, a couple of those guys haven't gotten as many reps, lately as well, too. It's just, it's different. You have to adapt and adjust, and that's the league, and that's how it is week to week. So for us to adapt and feel comfortable and match that speed and intensity will be just fine.
It looked like Kevin Hogan was still getting some second-team reps. Is that still up in the air? Or
Absolutely.
On Monday night? Did you guys have a decision who's going to be the backup to Joe on Monday night?
No, those decisions. We've had a plan from day one from training camp, and we're executing it. Bottom line is, there's a balance of how you try and develop each guy, but there's a finite amount of reps. And, and Kevin, he's played more in this league. There's some familiarity. So, in practice, some of that stuff it might even be run plays and things like that. It's just good for Drew to call the plays, break the huddle, run the show. And even though it's like Kevin could probably do that, too, as well. It's just you're trying to let the guys just adapt and evolve as a player. So that's why you're trying to balance it out to help each of them compete equally, but yet, help them develop in the long run. So that's all we're doing, balancing things out.
So.
Go ahead.
Were you personally concerned coming in because they know your offense?
They practice against a similar style every day, and the truth of it is I'd heard they'd made changes up front and all that, and they're playing a new style of defense. They have a new D-line coach who I heard has done a great job, and they've got really good players, and it's just a different style of scheme for us, and yeah, we have to adapt to all that stuff. But I don't. It may be a little bit. They're familiar. I mean, there were plenty of good plays too, and until you see the film, it's just one of those things. But yeah, it is the Jim Schwartz model of defense, so it's good stuff.
How different is your offense?
I think, again, we're all the same. It's honestly, we come from the same background, the same roots. It's just the personnel you have will kind of steer you in a direction for how your offense evolves. And the roots will always be very similar. We'll parallel each other in a lot of ways, but in the end, it's what kind of players do you have, and do you adapt to that? Do you have good tight ends, running backs? Are you better at receiver? What's your quarterback like? So that always steers our offense into an evolution, and he's in one place and I'm in another. So it's hard to say.
To evaluate guys, how will you weight what they do in these joint practices versus Monday night?
It's the joint practices are great just because it's good on good. There's no, if they show us a blitz we haven't seen, there's no repercussions for the quarterback. The play can still go on. We can evaluate guys down the field. They can evaluate their coverage guys. It's probably the same on this field. If Von Miller comes free, they can still run the plays. You go play in a game, it doesn't happen that way. A guy comes free, it's a sack. And so here it's part of the process is, yeah, you want to see where you're at as an offense, but you also know that you're evaluating the big picture too, and that's what the fun part of the crossover practices are.
Mine is Riddick and mine is Janovich. How do you feel about your depth of fullback when asked that it was so low?
Yeah, I mean, I mean, as far as the running back position goes, I feel like, you know, we've known it from day one. It's just a deep, talented group of good guys that can all be very good runners in this league. So, yeah, it sucks because, you know, Theo's got a real great skill set that you want to use, and you can't wait to get him back. But all those guys are more than capable of doing anything we could ever want in this offense. And as far as the fullback goes, you know, this is part of the league. Guys get hurt. He'll be back, and you just manage your roster with the guys you have. And some guys can do the things. You know, sometimes it's not one guy doing what Jano can do. It's a combination of people, tight ends, other fullbacks, different personnel groups, and you just make it work. And that's just the nature of the league and the nature of the game.
Coach, I know you just getting off the practice field, but what would you like to see improved on? I know you haven't watched the film. Is it execution? Is it just bring more intensity? What would you like to see better tomorrow?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's like it is any day. I mean, it's a practice like we practice against our guys. It's just against a different team. It's the same feel out here. You just got to, again, every day you step on the field, you should bring the same intensity. That's what a great pro and great teams do in this league. They know they're focused. They walk out with a mindset, and they're never the one that doesn't match the other team's intensity in all areas. And so whether it was there or not is debatable. We'll have to see the film and all that. But, yeah, I'd like us just to see come out on this field with a professional mindset and get after it and just see where things end up. At the end of the day, it's practice, and we're learning.
Where would you say you're at? Where would you say you're at with your timetable, getting to a point where there's an expectation for success? Because everything is so new. You're new. You got a lot of new parts, young quarterback, but at the same time, you have a real football game in about 3 weeks or so, 4 weeks. Well, where are you at with your being on schedule now?
Yeah, I mean, it's a journey to the Monday night opener, and I think there's been ups and downs like everyone. We are new, but I feel very confident that as a group we're beginning to gel. We've seen what we can be. It'll be just like a season. There's going to be good days and bad days, and you have to overcome when you're not at your best and find a way to win. And when you're at your best, you got to ride it and take the other opponent out and just finish everything you do and show what you're capable of when you're maxed out and you're efficient and you're at your peak. And I think we're on the trajectory we want to be on. But again, we still got a couple weeks, so we got work to do.
What kind of camp is Noah Fant had? Is he making positive strides every year?
Yeah, I think Noah's done a great job. I think it's Coach Fangio's had a great plan to work as hard, but yet give them rest when they need it so their bodies would come back. And a guy like Noah's had to take a lot of reps because he's a rookie to learn and because we've had some injuries. And I think that wore him down a little at times. You know, he's trying to learn and think and play. I think it's slowing down. I think he's playing faster, and I thought in the Seattle game he really took a step forward, and we got to continue to take steps forward, and I think we got ourselves a heck of a tight end.
Okay, thank you, Coach. Thanks, Coach.